This is an RJ45 Ethernet cable, and I'm going to show you how to make your own. In this specific case, the cable was too short. Sometimes we want a longer cable, sometimes we want to make our own, depending on what we're trying to do. If we're trying to set up our own home network, we may benefit from making our own cables instead of buying them at specific lengths. You can make one relatively easy and cheap with a bundle of cable and your own crimper. You will also need your own RJ45 connectors. Basically, these come in shielded and unshielded. Shielded basically means that it protects from electrostatic signals on the environment. This is an unshielded. This is perfect for your home if you don't have a lot of crazy electronic components running all over your house. And let's be honest, this is going to be the fastest and most reliable standard when compared to Wi-Fi. If you want the fastest Wi-Fi, you know it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to get one of those super fast Wi-Fi access points. But with this Cat 6, relatively cheap, you make your own and you connect it directly to your computer. And you can get up to 1 gigabit speeds. And some say, and the specifications say 10 gigabits per second under 100, which I haven't tried it. But 1 gigabit speeds is more than enough. So let's get to it. And I'm going to show you a few screenshots so you can have an idea on the different cat speeds. And you can have an idea on the different configurations that we can make this cable in. Basically, T568A and B. There's not much to it. If you want to connect similar devices to each other with a cable, you're going to need a crossover standard, which basically is T568A on one end and T568B on one end. When you have T568B on this end and on this end, it's called a straight-through cable. Now, majority of devices, switches, and computers nowadays, they know to change it because they're smart devices. They know how to change. If they had a crossover standard, it knows how to make it straight through. So most of the time, you're going to be using a straight through connection using T568B, which is the most regularly used standard out there. And is the one I use mostly at work, T568B on one end, T568B on the other end, when I was connecting switches to the core switch, switches to the computers, and everything else. Just practice a few times, you can get a cable and practice a ton of times and become an expert cable maker. Maybe for your work or maybe for your home. And at the end of the instruction, I'm going to show you what I did at my home, how I did my own cable runs, going to the attic, going across, and going to my computer so you guys can see some of the stuff you can do. Okay, so we have our tools. Just make sure you have a crimper. It's going to look like this. And you can see that it has the standard T568A and T568B, which is what I mentioned. Most of the time, you're going to be using, if you work in IT or let's say you just want to build a simple cable, most of the time you're going to be using T568B, the one on the bottom, and it has the B right there, T568B to T568B. So it's a straight through, the same T568B on both sides, and that's going to be more than enough to connect all of your devices at home. Like I said, most of these devices are smart. And that's how you wire them on the field. So you're going to need, this is just a simple wire cutter, wire stripper, and you have the different sizes here. And these tools are not too expensive. And these bundle of cable, you can get a bundle of cable for different prices or different lengths depending on how much you want. Now I'll show you the RJ45 pass-through connector and the RJ45 that is not a pass-through. All that it means is that the cables are going to stick out and then you're going to be able to cut them with this baby right here. That's a blade. So let's get started with this. So you grab your cable. You can see right here the length that you want to do it, depending on how you want to do it. Everybody does it differently. You can do it whichever way you feel more comfortable. I check the length of the connector and I make it as long as the break, the little bump that it has here, so that it can grab onto this blue thing, to the blue cover. Now we strip, you bend, it's gonna start breaking. I guess I could have cut more. You can see there how it's breaking. And then you pull it off. Now, in order for these cables to go in smoothly, you need to undo them in the specific order that it has here. T568B, for example, it has these colors done just the way you see them here. And I'll add a screenshot so you guys can see. So light, dark. Mine doesn't have the stripes. And not all of them have it. Most of them are going to be like this. Light blue. Basically, you're going to organize them from left to right as well as you can. You can see here that I'm trying to straighten them out. And if it hurts your fingers, you can grab. It's not too bad, but after you do so many during a day, it can be a little annoying. So you can use this as well if you're interested in using this. Just boom. Okay, now we're gonna make sure that our cables are organized the way we want them. See right there the colors. So light and then brown. Okay. So now when we have it here in order, we can do a couple things. We can try to put it in, or we can cut the excess off because as you can see it, so it's some are longer than others. This is not the newest wire stripper, but it'll do the job. Okay, it didn't do the greatest job, so we're gonna use this one. You can see here, you see cut, and you bring it down. Cut everything there cleanly. Look how clean it looks. It'll make it easier to put the connector in there. And the way I do it is, you can see here how the connector goes in, right? So it's gonna go in like this, with this part going down. You can see how it goes in there. And I do it like this, facing up, because I want to have everything in order here and put them in exactly the same way it shows in the picture, facing down. That way you know you're doing it right. And this is the one that says no pass through. So what it means is that these cables are going to get stuck in this little wall here and they're not going to stick out. And this is why I did it this way, because I wanted this blue piece to be held by this part. And when you're ready, you insert it just the same way that it is in the picture. Little locking tab facing down. You stick it in, and then you're gonna crimp it. Once you crimp it, you can see it's nicely in there. It's been crimped. So it's squishing all these little pins into the cable, cutting through and making contact. And this is a completed RJ45 connector. Now on the other side, we're gonna build one with the pass-through setting. You can see it has holes, right? So nice thing about this one, you can make it quite long, and you can also strip it with this one. But I try to do it with the other one, but I guess it's all beat up. It's not working perfectly. Still works, but not great. You can make it as long as you want. Not a care in the world. You turn it around. You see, it was much easier. So now what we do is going to be the same thing. We're going to organize these cables with the T568B standard. So you're gonna stronger blue, light green, light blue, which is the striped blue on the picture. Stretch these out to remove the twist in them as best as we can. Takes a little bit of work, just not difficult. Now there's some tools out there that you can spin it on it and stretch them out. But to be honest, you're not gonna end up making that many cables to where you can't use your hands. So I like to use my hands. All right, there's stretch out. Remember, we cut here with this one. Cut the excess however much we want. Then we'll use a pass-through. And remember, if you put this facing up, you're gonna make a mistake. So locking tab facing down. Just like the picture. Solid brown on the right. This is the beautiful thing about this pass-through cable. It's so much easier. You can see I'm putting it with the tab that is supposed to grab onto this external to the external cable, the wall or whatever it's called. You can push it in. You can see how much it goes in the blue side, right? The housing. And you're gonna put it in here, just like I mentioned. Same way the picture looks, same way you fix the cables. You're gonna push it through. It's giving me a little bit of trouble. And you can see these guys sticking out, right? So let's check this out. Boom. Cut them off. And now we have a nice, good looking connection, RJ45. And this is how you make a cable. Now you can make your desired length as much as you want, as little as you want. You made a mistake, you can just cut it off. You start over. It's that easy. And I'm gonna put the prices here for this one, which I believe maybe was like 20 or 20 something dollars. There's cheaper ones out there, but get a decent one. This one has lasted me for a while. This is more for regular cables for electrician type of stuff, but they are amazing if you need to do some extra work at the house or something. Now, it is better than dealing with these guys at a specific length, right? You can just make your own. And if you're setting up your own home network and you're trying to set it up, your cables to go from one side to another side, you can check the length and make it as long or as short as you want. So I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff that I did at home. And you know what? I'm going to show you something. It's relatively easy, so easy to set up your own stuff at home. I bought these guys off Amazon. And basically, it has the screws. You buy a tool at Home Depot or Lowe's, wherever you go, make a hole, make it as square as you want, with these dimensions in mind. Now, I'm not expert with my measurements. So you see here, you make your cable, you stick it in here, voila. You have your wall jack ready to be used. And I'll show you what I did at home. It's a pretty nice setup. The only thing I hate about these cables, look at this. It sticks on the bottom, then you can't really use it. I guess it's a safety feature, but oh well. So I used these ones and I made my own cables. And I'll show you. I'm going to go through my house so you can see all the stuff that I did. Now, this is the side that is on my home network. You can see how I put it in there. You can see the cables. I made these cables as well. And this is my home network. I have my modem, which is in forward mode, which basically just relays communication. It's not an access point anymore. It's just relays communication to the to my firewall, which I use OpenSense. Is a protectly vault. And then I have a segregated network with different interfaces. You can see here, I have a test network. I have an access point network right here. You can see I have an access point network. I have a wired network and I have a test network. It's a pretty neat thing if you want to play around and set up your own stuff. I mean, you're going to learn a lot. And that's not the nicest access point, but it is decent. I want to buy a better one. And I'm going to take you over to the attic so you can see what I did on the attic. Now, well, it's too hot up here. Ugh. Okay. I might show a little, it's just too hot. So you can see the cables, how you run them from over there. Caught him with I got in there, then caught him with a hanger, and it was uncomfortable, but I was able to do it. And you can see it there. You can see the cables here. I made my own cables at my specific length, sent them all the way over here. And from down there, it goes into a per second speed switch. I need to clean it up a little. It's a little dusty. So connects there, and I connect my server there. This is my home network test bench. This is my computer. You see here, Lenovo Legion. And so it goes there. It goes here to my server. And I have a spare cable and another spare cable for if I want to do something. But this is the type of stuff that you can do at home if you know how to make your own cables. You can make your own cables to length. You can fix your own cables. You can do plenty. Definitely build your own cables whenever you can. It also teaches you something new, something you can put on your resume, or just something you can brag about to your friends that you have your own home network that you've set up. All right. And that's it for me. You guys have a nice day.